Hello, and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 932, coming to you live from somewhere nowhere. Just enjoying the day. How are you guys doing? Is that working now? I don't know why sometimes our speaker likes to change location. We have way too many things going on, it seems like at times. Want to shout out to everyone joining us on LinkedIn, Player One Taco, YouTube, Xerox Degens, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, Rumble, Kick, On Chain via Unlonely, and shout out to those all on Abstract and the Arena. But for some reason, we're having an issue. Let's try this. Let's end this live stream and let's see if we get that going again. End live stream. Live stream is ended. Okay. Let's see if we can get it going again, as we want that live stream going, because we have a lot of fun with our live stream. So I think maybe because this was the first time we scheduled something. So let's, I want to thank everyone for dealing with technicalities. You would think after 931 shows that this is locked in and perfect. Man, it's not. It really is not. So we want to thank you all for just doing this with us. Now, there is people that seem like they have it locked in, and they do, because they have 5 people working with them on the back end, and huge shout out to them. So I don't know if this is just a, let's see if I don't know why. Let's see if, let's try, remove, and then let's add it again. I guess this would be the way to do it. If it's not working, man, I am sorry that, shout out to everyone on the Arena. GM. Yay, it is, yay. It is working today. So, yeah, we have had an amazing day. We hope that you have. Right now, we're up about 3,500% on a 500x long on Bitcoin that we opened up at 94K. And we are just letting that one ride. So, we're going to have fun with that. We wanted to sort of go through, as we needed to change all of our positions that we opened up, not even, just over 24 hours ago. Now that Bitcoin's ripped over 160, that was sort of our marker piece of where we were going to be changing our LP positions. And so I want to sort of show you guys what we've been doing with that. We ended up making 2 more positions, 48 hours, I think. Yeah, over the last 48 hours. So let's see. If you guys remember, we made the very fun, there we go. Now we can get that up and running to show the numbers, because that's the boring part. Everyone just wants to talk about how awesome something is doing, but never really show the numbers. And I felt that was not a disservice, in some aspect. But what's really cool from it is you get to sort of see the history, and you get to ride with me. Now, I'm hoping you might be doing something like this. You don't have to. That's the really cool thing about this is you can do however you want to do it. But what I really want to show you is the tools that you have at your hands. Obviously, we have new Diddy tokens coming up. We're not going to touch those. But we have an interesting wrap soul position, Radium sort of sneaking its way in here. And so we wanted to show you this piece. It's on Orca, but we had looked at it, and so we're not going to go through that piece today, but we are going to go through all of our positions and remove, because as you can see here, we ended with 61 positions. We've made, I think we made 2 or 3 more positions, simply because that is what was really diving in to some other tokens that we're getting ready that we're moving that we saw, and so that's what we did. But then at the same time, one we really want to be positioned for DOOD launching tomorrow. DOOD is going to have such heavy volume from both the buyer seller side. I'm sure there's going to be 2%, 1%, and 5% pools. So we might make a pool in each of them. And so right here, I just sort of wanted to show you, Casey, where we ended this. Our ending balance was at 61 positions. So 62 pools. We added a pool. And in the last 2 days, our portfolio balance has grown by about $1,000 in 2 days. So that is, that is where it's sort of where we're having that compounding effect going into play. We get to see what that looked like. And so obviously, because we're doing this piece, we're going to just go big so we can see it all in one show. And let's see, what else? Do we need to get rid of anything else? Oh, we need to say hi to our boop boop. All right. So huge shout out to everyone on Abstract. Thank you for the comments. You guys rock. I don't know. Can I do? Yeah, maybe I'll do you like that. And then I'll do the arena like that. That works. And then I'll just bring you both all the way down. Oh, that's totally, I like that. That rocks. All right. So we have arena rocking. We have abstract rocking. Huge shout out to everyone over there. One of the things we're going to work on, try to get this weekend, is a verified abstract badger. I don't know. I feel like we deserve it. We've been streaming since week 1 every day. So I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to earn. Sometimes what I found with a lot of these things, they're not just given. You actually have to ask. They want effort, So I think that's one of the really cool pieces within the Pengu community is like they have all of these things setting aside for you. You just have to ask for them. And because they don't want to waste the time if you don't want it, or, if you're not a real person, like it's sort of one of the really cool things. So as we go through this, we're going to do 2 things. First, I'm going to sidetrack, and I want to show you guys how to check for DOOD tomorrow if you're getting an allocation. And I don't even know if I might have an allocation. I don't know. But here are the details on their second post. For that did not register, the manual claim will open. Registered users will receive an airdrop and will not need. So we didn't register. We forgot to register. And so it's best on certain browsers. For the smooth, please open it in Chrome, Safari, or dismiss. Claim begins at TGE. All right. So let's see. Yeah. Doodles will be the first to post a contract outage when trading is live. We could technically go searching out there for like all of the DOOD contracts, because I'm sure there are many. But let's see here. Moonit, Meteora. So yep, there's the Moonit dude. They had an alpha vault that you could be into, but it was strictly for OKX. So that was actually a pretty cool partnership that they did there. And, I think, they've done some good pieces there. They've really sort of pushed this really good. And I think they're going to this is actually going to go off really well. So be ready for a lot of volatility. And obviously, remember, people are getting airdrop DOOD for just holding NFTs. NFTs they've already collected a lot of value from via other things. So expect sharp sell-off, and then expect liquidity injection, and then expect sell-off, and then expect liquidity injection. So over the next couple of days, the weekend, it's going to be really interesting. It launches at 9:05 a.m. tomorrow. And we already see Binance, Maxi, LBank, KuCoin, OKX, Bybit, a whole lot of exchanges getting ready to launch it, and with futures. So there is going to be a lot of people that as soon as they can put shorts in, they're going to be putting shorts in on it. It's not that they have a short against the project. It's that they should have a short against everyone getting a huge airdrop and then selling it off. So do not be worried about that. That's going to happen. Now, as we get back to this, so we are at 62 positions. So when we do our weekly, we'll update that, but we're going to go through, as you can see, we have all of our auto compound, auto rebalance. We're going to change those all into just auto rebalance. So we're going to be able to, as you see, some of our positions are growing in some aspect or some shape or form. Others are not, and that's okay. So we do have a bunch of positions that are out of position now, but we're going to we'll move those back up into position. We have, as you can see, in all-time fees. Let's see here as this runs through from balances to unrealized P&L. So yeah, in less than 24 hours, 40 hours, $60 in fees, $40 in fees, $30 in fees. We've seen these come up, and right now we have $84 in unclaimed fees too. So we've done sort of well on a lot of these positions. So remember, we went in with these just with token only. Some of the Orca positions we originally did, but then we canceled those and reset them to token only. So yeah, we're going to keep those going and have some fun with it. So this is where we are at with our unclaimed fee size. We can see with like Let's Bonk, already in position and growing. So we're going to keep that up. And I'm going to turn my Do Not Disturb on. Boop, boop. All right, there we go. So as we jump into this, we're just going to go through all of these positions. So 62 positions. It's going to take us a moment to do, but this is going to let us start collecting major on those fees that we've had just right now been getting dumped back into the position, growing that position from wherever it was. Mm-hmm. And I think that should be a good amount per, what is that? 3, 7. Yeah, we'll do 7. 7 per, and just leave it at that. Yeah. So that we'll leave that way. We are getting these done pretty quickly. Because if we want to go more, obviously it'll just take that much longer for positions to load. And we want to get this sort of done as quickly as possible. All right. As that's loading, I'm checking in on where we're at in the market. Bitcoin's at 1026, so sold's at 161. This puts our long position up to 3,512% on a 500x long. So let's fucking go. All right. So we see here we had a recent rebalance. It looks like we're going to turn our auto compounding off once that loads. And then that way our fees, there we go, save and close. We can claim this fees. And let that ride. So there's that. And then we're not repositioning anything. We're not adding to any position. We are simply claiming our fees and repositioning it if it's not needed. So as you can see here, not needed. Vamp coin 2. So configure auto compound off. There we go. And as we run through some of these, we'll see stuff like this one, like so MOG out of range. So we're going to close this position altogether. So it's we'll close this and then reopen it. That way we get our fees and everything like that, and we'll just go all in with token this time. So we are on a loss on this one. But let's see here, quote. MOG, I feel like this one is going to die out soon, but MOG ACC spot. Short-lived, but we'll see how that goes. All right, now we'll create that position again, bid ask. All in. And we'll get we got those fees back from closing that position. Now we'll get them as well. So we're going to change this up. We're going to remove the auto compound. And auto rebalance we're going to turn on, though we're not at an auto rebalance phase right now because it's under $100. But yeah, there we go. Save and close. Oh, we forgot one thing with this. Putting our liquidity shape on rebalance in. to a bid ask. Save and close. All right. So moving on, we can see that our Elan's getting bought up. Let's see if we can. Nope, can't beat it. Couldn't beat it. Auto compound is off. That's all we need to do. We claimed our fees and we're good. So there we go. And as you can see here, we're up 30%, almost 25% on the LP piece, the fees we've just claimed. And so we'll see that sort of start to take off as well. This one is all profit at this time with tokens. So that's sort of where we're at with almost all of these in some way, shape, or form, based off of the fees. And so that's one of the good things with this. You do it, you have your time in market, you collect your initial plus some in fees, and then the rest of it, is just sort of icing on the cake in some way, shape, or form. So, yeah. All right. Done with Degen. Bitcoin's had a lot of volume the past 24 hours, so we're seeing a lot there. Obviously, it's rebalanced for us as it's run from just token into token soul now. So turning that auto compound off, saving, closing, and we're done. So we have a lot of room. You can see here the liquidity is really, really thin on this for tokens. So there's a lot of availability for the token to run up, which is really cool. And so we might see some cool things with Bitcoin happening. Last up, Troll. We've seen this sort of claim and climb. And we'll move back into that. Let's see if we made that this time. I think we did. All right. All right. So now everything we're going to be making on Troll is going to be going back into fees. So there we go with that. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. We'll leave it at that. Why not? 8. All right. So we've actually seen a little bit. We'll talk about some of these, but Boop, Boop seems to have gotten a little bit of hate the last couple of days. It's interesting. So, go Boop, I guess. We launched a Boop token, TacoBytes. I don't know what we're going to do with it. I think we just did it to, cost us half a soul to buy another token. We did that. And now we can do whatever we want, I guess. We were able to claim our Boop airdrop and go from there. So how are we here? Your mom's getting sold off. That sounds hilarious. Your mom is getting sold off. So I mean that in the nicest way possible. Turning off auto compound. Okay, config is saved. We're literally watching your mom get bought up as we saw those tick spaces move. So there we go. Dupe is still doing good. There we go. We're seeing that one climb up 70% overall on the chart. So as you can see here, this is sort of what that's looked like over the last day, 2 days. Yeah, almost 48 hours. Compounded fees up, over 30. So it's rebalanced. So it's doing pretty. It's doing its thing. We're happy for it. And yeah, let's see. Anything else? Nope. Bitcoin, another one that we saw, might be starting to die off. We're not out of range on it. It might just be, the volume has died that it had, but I think that it might still have some room to go. Where we've seen our impermanent loss being rectified by the amount of fees. So doing well in that. We're going to keep that rolling as well. You see Pengu getting bought up. There we go. Bonk sold position out. So basically all of our bonk got bought up that we had. 0.5. So out of range on this. So let's see here. Actually, no, we're not going to claim. We're going to cancel that because we're going to close this position. And we're going to reopen it. I guess we have to reopen it with just Sol because we're all out of bonk. Yeah. All right. Oh, I need this. Oop. All right. All right. There we go. So we've closed our bonk position. We're going to create a new. That was like we had what, like 5.7, I think, 0.57 worth of Sol in there. So that's 6. We have 65 cents worth of bonk. So 0.67 puts us right over 100. Good spot for that. So as bonk comes back, swaps, bonk moves a lot. So really good to sort of see. All right, and we'll turn our auto rebalance on and our auto compound off on that. So same thing as always, our rules apply of 1% on slippage for both pools, and then spot change to bid ask for the rebalance. Save the close. So there we go. That's our bonk spot, SSE. Sitting well, sitting low. We're going to reconfigure this. So we'll be taking fees. Well, save and close. There we go. So we've seen volume pick up a little bit, which is nice. Looks like we might be out of position soon on our wizard. That's fine. We're going to reconfigure this. Save and close. Now we're at $80 balance right now. If we wanted to, we could go all in with that. We're going to not do that. We're going to just let it sit as is. As it slightly slides out. We'll see if it continues or what goes on with wizards. So, yeah. Soul fart coin. We're going to leave this position. We're going to remove our auto compound. And there we go. Configs and pieces. So fart coin is where we left it. There we go. Next up, boop. Mu is out of position. We'll replace into mu. Three. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So there we go with 10 positions this time. Hopefully that'll bring our other spot into 8 positions from. Excuse me. So we can try to get this done in 5 rounds or close to. So that is where we will go with this. And we'll wait for that to load. This is the one thing that sort of sucks about doing large, a bunch of different positions. They're all trying to run for memory. We're running 32. We wish we were running a 64 gig, but we do with what we have. Right. Yeah, and I think as soon as we're done with all of these positions, we're just going to go to bed. We're going to try to get back onto a normal schedule. We were thinking we were going to stay up all day. We took a nap, and I think that might have helped us sort of catch up. But what does the Magic 8 Ball have to say about all of this right now? Take the risk. Do it. So, all right. That's a fun one. All right, so we're going to burn through this. We're going to go through this position piece. The auto compound side. Move auto compound. And then go back into that. Saving. As we've seen boop do. All right. We'll claim our boop. Or all-time boop, I guess you could say. So let's wait for that to call. There it is. And we'll pull this position. Or not pull the position, but pull our fees. So that's sort of the fun side of it. As we're moving through these pieces, we've claimed those rewards. And we will be moving through. So now we're done with that position. So as we just carry on. So this one, actually, we're out of position for Mew. Like I was talking about, got to meet with the Mew team at Solana Crossroads, and they've had their token out for a while now. And so as it was sort of told to me, they are not hurting for money. They don't have to say they've already paid for like their spots to get their anime listed on like Netflix and stuff like that. They're just finishing it up. And so I think that that's one of the really cool things with it, where Mew is sort of like an unsung hero, not really talked about. And this token, I've been in it forever. So getting to sort of push the new, meeting with some of the team, at Solana Crossroads was pretty freaking amazing. Getting to see, what they were doing and what some of the animation storyline pieces. So think like Blue Cat from, ETH and stuff like that. But then like Adventure Time, think Adventure Time meets Blue Cat. And I think you'll see some really cool stuff come out of that from Mew. But we're up in that position, so we're out of range simply because we've had a large position in this for a long time on that Sol Mew side. So it's really sort of allowed for a lot of different things to happen for us. So we've made our play in that. But once again, we're going to go all in with Mew, but because that doesn't do anything for us, we literally sold all of our Mew got sold off in our position. So we're going to go in with some Solana. It's going to rebalance that for us. So we're going to go in with one Sol. We have more than enough, reaped more than a Sol in fees from this over the last year. So it was one of the first positions we opened up on the original Hawk site. So we've seen a lot of come out of this. So, all right. We see that it's going to trade for us. So we're going to cancel that trade. We're going to try again. We might have to reset it. Yeah. So what we'll do here now, we'll leave that as is, and we're going to confirm create. There we go. So it's going to trade in for us, and we see how that went, and that went good. So it's trading. So that's the one difference with like Orca versus Meteora, is you're able to go in just one-sided. Now, technically, you're sort of able to go in one-sided with an Orca position, but what it's actually doing is it's trading half of it away to auto balance you, and that's not a true one-sided. True one-sided is you have 1,000 tokens and you're putting 1,000 tokens in on one side. The way the Orca pool works is it will take your 1,000 tokens, sell 500 of them for the other half of that. And so it sort of goes into a balanced position. So that's what we're doing here. And we're okay with that. We turned off our auto compound and just left auto rebalance on. But now we've cleaned out of that position, and that's sitting well. Next up, our DBR. So D-Bridge, really sort of waiting for what they might have going on the governance side of things. I'm excited for that. You know, I really love D-Bridge. They've made bridging in and out of Solana super easy. Where I think their biggest hindrance right now is they're limiting themselves only to EVM chains. And now but the way they've made their bridge is that any chain that's EVM compatible can literally go list themselves on their chain, add their chain to D-Bridge's network. So like you're some random chain that's EVM compatible, you can get plugged into the 19 other chains, including Solana, that they're already supporting. So I think that there's a good play there, long-term play. As you've seen, we basically took our airdrop and put it straight into liquidity. They don't have a staking position yet for you to stake tokens or anything like that, or else we would be doing that. But that's sort of one of the things that we would like to see out of them soon. Was supposed to try to see Alex and the team while in Dubai. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. That makes me a little sad, as I really like the team and I really like what they're building. But they were slam packed with speaking and different event pieces. And I missed the Solana super team. It was the day before I got there. So I left Istanbul on a Monday night, and the event was Monday itself. So sad that I missed that. But it looked amazing. So, and I will not turn down Turkey. Turkey was a blast. So, yeah. Next up, Gork. This one's a runner right now. It has been. It's still having a lot of volume on it. As long as Elon, I think, doesn't rename his account. Once he renames his account, obviously this will probably die off. But for right now, we're seeing good numbers from the pool. So, once again, we went in one-sided. Originally with just Sol, we took about, as we had seen, we took about $200 in fees. And then we went in with just token on the second side. When we rebalanced, it's down about 24% right now, but it's rebalanced as well. So right now, as you can see, it's sitting in a good position. We don't have to worry about it at all. Yeah. And as you can see, too many windows, we get an application client side error. And that's literally because we run out of memory because we're running so many things. We're collecting these fee pieces. We should have done a wallet balance beforehand, but we knew like there was about $86 worth of fees to collect. So yeah, auto config for auto compound on this. Render, we made this a tight position for render. And that's just because we really like what Render's been doing. And so we can deposit more into this if we wanted to, not a lot. So we're going to leave it out. But we made that a tighter position for Render, manually changing that. And we've seen it just sort of grow for us as we've seen Render grow from about $3 to, $4.40 right now, I think, is around the price of Render. So they're doing a lot of cool stuff. They just launched some of their new Octane 3D pieces, that Hollywood is using for VFX. And the things that are being created are just mind-blowing. To think that that's been running, like Hollywood's been running on DPIN for 6 years now is just sort of mind blowing. And this is one of the really cool things where when you abstract the Web3 side away, people don't care. You know, they don't care that the back end is being paid for in token and stuff like that. But what was really cool for Render is you had these artists that got high-end units to do GPU work, but then they were just sitting idle half the time, you know, when they were like doing something else, post-production stuff, like not being used. So Render sort of came in and like, hey, let's monetize that unused GPU space so other artists that might not have as cool of a rig as you can make just as cool stuff. So I think that's one of those really awesome use cases that we've seen. I'm just sort of mind blown from that after being at RenderCon. You know, like I got to hang out with Spock's son, like Leonard Nimoy's son. Like, okay, maybe that's just the nerd in me that was having a blast with that, but at the same time, you know, they made the new Star Trek film or short where Captain Kirk got to say goodbye to Spock before Spock died, because technically both Spock and Captain Kirk both died off camera, you know, in different movies. So they made them getting to say goodbye type of scene, which I think it was really, really cool to see. As we've seen here, House has just sort of been, you know, climbing and growing. So we like this position. We like House. Still think it has a long way to roll. Even if it dumps on this, it will rebalance for us. And you got to remember, you know, when we turned one soul into like $500, and then we took profit, you know, claimed half of that and put that just the token back into the position. So we've gotten to see this sort of move. House still has a lot of legs on it, a lot of fees. We're in a 1% pool. We like it. So now we're going to just be going back into taking fees from it instead of auto compounding those fees back into the position. And so that would be a good play there. ACS, another team got to run into at Solana Crossroads. Access has been around for a minute. I personally originally got introduced to them during when Coinbase Wallet for DeFi Wallet first launched. Access launched they were the first Solana project that Coinbase supported, almost like a creator type platform, but more educational or other protocols that you get to stake your ACS to, and then you earn ACS in return. One of the things that we've seen them come out, so we're going to close this position since we're out of position on it. And we're going to reposition ourselves so it's all ACS. Once again, it sucks. It's an Orca position, so this 3,500 ACS will get split in half and sold for SOL. So, but we are up on it, so yay. All right, we're going to retweet this piece. But we got to meet let's see here. What is this? ACS. Oh, man. Access protocol, I think, is what it is. There it is. Receiving from Access Protocol on HawkFi. One of the really fun things that I'm really excited to do is this weekend, finally get all of my interviews out. Tried to get some of them out during, but I don't want to blame it on hotel Wi-Fi, but I want to blame it on hotel Wi-Fi. All right, so we're going to create this new position, and we're going to be going in. So with this, going all in, It's about $51. Do we want to go in with SOL at all? No. We're going to just leave it as token. It's going to sell off half the token, as we see here, for SOL. And then it's going to automatically make that position for us because we have the SOL already. So as you can see, boom. And then the first thing we have to do is we have to turn our auto compound off. And turning our auto rebalance on. Setting that slippage at 1%. Everything else we leave sort of normal because they have good default settings. You know, can you make things narrower or wider or different? Yes, you can. Do you need to? No, you don't. Why? Because they have it all set up already, you know. So as you can see here, our position sort of moved out. So we're just sitting there. We're down 14%, but that's okay. Nobody, I think, still has legs on it. You know, we're seeing a lot of volume. You know, the volume is at 14K, so it's starting to die off. We might end up closing this position, but not now. You know, not today. Not today, Satan. We see how that is, and we see where like a lot of liquidity token pieces are. So you see there that there's, you know, you can see where the token price really is sort of sitting. We're sitting all the way over here. You know, we got $2 worth of nobody in most of these bins. So that's sort of what we're sitting there. So we'll move real quickly if the token starts moving. Sol USDT on Orca, we got to reposition, it looks like. So we're going to do that. So now our position pieces. Joss is another one where we've just made a lot of money on fees. One of the OS virtual tokens, Julia OS, I think is what it is. So yeah, Melania, we're still sitting in profit on that one. You know, I look at it this way. The majority of the selling from it is, you know, bad actors, but like this is my way of sort of making a little bit money back from the bad actors is what I tell myself. Because I got into heavy profit with Trump. Yes, I rotated that into Melania very early. Not as early as a lot of people, but still got in there pretty good spot. And so from there, I just sort of, I've let it ride because what I've made in fees has more than made up for what I invested. And this is one of those things to where that time and market really sort of plays key. And if you're looking at a highly, you know, where providing liquidity sort of really pays off is on those tokens, whether they're going up or going down or back and forth. If you're after like look for that volume, and that'll save you 9 out of 10 times. So we'll wait for this to load. And we see all of our position pieces, you know, load up. What do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 positions. I shouldn't be on Iron Forge for my RPC. I think once that loads up, that'll switch automatically over to Triton. So, yeah. but we'll wait for that to load. That'll take a second. Where's the market at? Yep. Up a little bit higher, 1026 on Bitcoin and Sol at 161.48. So, yeah. Up 53% in the last 30 days for Solana. Started, a month ago at 115. We're right below or right above where we were a year ago. And so just, a lot going on here that we see. One of the big pieces that we saw launch yesterday, we saw SNS, or this past week, SNS dropped their token. So we're happy with that. So, all right. So we're going to close this position out of range. So, we were below value on it. So, below 100 when we opened the position, and Sol's taken off. So, all of our Sol was bought up. And so we're just stuck with USDT. Oh, shucks. But what we're going to be able to do, we'll reopen this position in the same range. So, yeah, as we copy that over, let's see. We don't do too much. I think our other position with USDT is faux. Our USDT Sol on HawkFi. Boop. And so we're going to create that position. As we can see, it's going to be a 50-50 position. Current pool price 162. That'll move it. It gives us a window all the way to 178. So if Solana goes up, we'll still, we hit 160. 5, I think 166, and we'll be over that $100 range. But what this is going to do is this is going to sell half of our USDT and put it into Sol. So this is the same thing that happened when we opened the position. So we're selling $43 worth of USDT for Sol, and then all of our Sol got bought out. But because we were under that $100 mark, it didn't rebalance us. So this time it will. Before it trades out of us. So that'll be good. And then our auto rebalance, we're going to set at 1% and save. So new position there. So this is the one I saw, Joss Sol. So Julia OS. As you can see, it's down a little bit, but we've made, it won't show it on this one, but we've made our fees in this one. So save and close. All right. So we're good on that one. Changed our settings and we're back in the game. All right. So Swarms, as you can see, even Swarms is being bought up. We might actually deposit into this one just because, Yeah, I think we're going to, well, I don't know. Let's ask the magic 8 ball. And if not, we have another magic 8 ball, special magic 8 ball. Let's see what this one says. Trust the quorum. Oh man, trust the quorum for a swarm. So that's sort of, all right. We're in range. We'll add all of our swarm and we'll add a soul to this. Not 10 soul, but we'll add 1 soul. That way we'll get rebalanced as it continues to move. So that way we're good. All right. So we're good on this one. And boom. All right. Next up, sitting right real good on this easy soul one. We've made our money on this one. So it's all profit from this 1 soul we originally put in a long time ago. Yeah, so we're just going to auto configure this one out. Turn our auto compound off. Save and close. We don't have to change anything else because we have all of our settings, where they're supposed to be. We just had auto compound on, as soul was under 150, it was like 148. So now it's over 160. We want to benefit from those fees, scraping from the top, so to speak, without affecting our position. Still a lot of volume on this. So, yeah. All right. Trump, we've made this one. We're going to configure to this. Oh. There we go. So, or still 205 million in volume, daily volume. Yet do I wish that this was a 1% pool? Heck yeah, I do. But those pools actually have dried up. Here, I'll show you real quick. So all pools. So we can close this one now that we rebalanced and fixed this one, but we can show you where this one is going. So Trump Soul, you can see this one has a little bit of room in it. 91K paid out 4K. So not a bad one there. The 1.1% Soul Trump, 3 million in volume, 3K in fees. There's a lot of different good pools to get into if you're just wanting to sit back and relax. But the Trump USDC is the main pool, so we're just sitting there with everyone else. Nice, Store Soul. Just got a shout out from Solana. They're doing some cool. Get ready for some cool merch from Accelerate in New York. I don't know if I'm going to make it. It's just a lot of grind time to do. I'm trying to figure out if I should go to BTC Vegas. I think I might, but I'm getting really ready for Singapore Super AI. So that's going to be a good piece there. All right. Last up, Tensor. Tensor is always, moving for us. Boom. All right. There we go. All right. So Tensor was our last one. Next up, Act Soul. So these ones are under the $100 threshold, so we might get traded out of them. And if we do, we're fine with that. Another good one that's been ripping, UFD. Shout out to Ron's Basement. Like the feel good, the fact that it's still running 5 months later makes me happy, and that there is some redeeming things within this space. You know, and it's sort of funny, has been funny to watch Ron sort of grow, I guess you could say. And then Ghibli, we have to reset, and then BMT. I think that's it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay. So we accidentally opened up 9 positions. Oopsies. Oh, well. We'll leave that. Once we set that piece, this will take a minute. So, yeah. One, get ready for DOOD tomorrow. Whether you've done anything in the Doodleverse, even drip creators. So drip, not creators, but collection pieces, you know, but really focus on the creator side of things, which has been really cool. The collector, but we like how seeing drip is focused on the collector or the creator for the DOOD drop. So, you know, I like it when artists eat. That's always a good thing. Might not always be my cup of tea, but it's one of those things that sort of keeps people still create things. And that's sort of what we need. So, yeah. All right. Big play that we see, you know, let this ride, refresh. All right. So we've seen some of our AI tokens really starting to take, you know, not super take off again, but, you know, do well. All right. So we're going to claim that. Turn that off. And claim. Once that claims goes through, boom. All right. Yapster. Another one under the bucket. Oh, didn't get to it in time. All right. Now, UFD. We've seen reset and do good. All right. We're excited for UFD. Excited to see this go up. You know, all the way, like I said, all the way around, happy for this. So we got into UFD when it was 65K. Literally just because we were in the washroom at the time. And like a dork, we're like, huh, unicorn fart dust as we were farting or something like that. So like, how do you find these sometimes? Strictly by luck. what hits home to you. That is like the big one that you can sort of like, hope for. But in the trenches, a lot of times, if you're not looking at volume and you're looking to try to find those early pieces, it's a hard move, so it's a hard one to find early movers like that. But literally, Unicorn Fart Dust was a straight lucky win on that one. So that one, we did a lot with that, with the profits from that. I think we bought a new chair. We bought like 2 new cameras, some extra microphones pieces. We bought some cigars, and bought family dinners. So basically, we invested our profits back into ourselves rather than back into the casino. So I'm actually really proud of how that one turned out. And I think that was, me. One of the big things that we do with any new me we get, really waiting for Magic Eden to give me something to vote on. That's what I want. I want to do something with that. So I just collect that for now. And we'll see this rebalance as this is over the $100 mark. So that'll rebalance into a position soon. And all right. Jelly. Another weird random one that we had gotten into by luck. And yeah. So done there. Claim this juke. We have a few juke positions. Next major reset, I think we're going to go back to our normal standard way of doing it. Like, instead of closing positions and reopening them, we're just going to close every position. And then based off of what we have in our wallet, we'll then go and open new positions. So because that changes and fluctuates, and we'll try to find the best pool all the way around for it, whether it's on Radium, whether it's on Hawkfi, or, via Meteora or Orca. That is sort of what we will do. But Juke, we've just basically taken those profits and reinvested them into the position and grown. So that's sort of been a fun piece. All right, so Ghibli, we see it is out of position. So we're going to just close that position altogether. It is under that $100 mark. So not benefiting for a reserve, but we will probably try to do that, I think. So copy on that, and then we will post that out. Oh my gosh. Hawkfi. So yes, these aren't major wins. Oh shoot. Let's edit that. Edit post. Boop. There we go. Update. So there we go. 48 hours, 1%. So yay. But it's up. So maximum yay. Ghibli here, that brings us to 97. So we're going to leave it at that. That's going to be, if it starts to buy out, it will pull us up over 100. So we have no issue with that position at all where it's at. Boom.
and then spot. Now I want to show something. One of the things that I tried, and I tried like a lot of positions, all my positions at this was with this rebalance mode. You have a fixed schedule piece, you have follow up, follow price up or down, or you have follow up only or follow price down only. If you think like it's gonna like if it's just tanking, you want to ride that tank down. That's that piece. If you think it's up only, you know, the thing I don't like about up only is if it goes down, you know, you're not going to capture trading fees for outside of your position. So I think that that's sort of silly because let me make sure I picked a spot position for that rebalance, or not spot. Yep, left it a spot. Need to change it to bid ask. Because what you're after is you're after volatility, and that doesn't matter if the prices volatility is price going up or price is going down. You want to be able to, whether people are buying or selling, you want to be able to get in on that, and that's sort of one of the big pieces there that limit you on capturing that volume, and you know, benefiting from it. Oh, we didn't get that done in time. Let's see, configure, auto compound off, save and close. As you can see, we're in a good position with BMT right now. So, yeah. All right. Sol USDC is our next big piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So we do have like an exotic, you know, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Oh. I don't know about you, but it has been a long day. One of the really cool pieces, doing a new, working, you know, helping out, talking with a new SocialFi app, Own. They seem to be doing some really cool stuff. One of the things I completely forgot to ask today is what chain they're on or going to be on. So, yeah. I don't see why they would not pick Solana unless they were getting like a grant to build somewhere else. So that's always good. But I think one of the funner calls I have lined up is this week with BZ. Taking on Courtyard on the digital collectible ripping pack side of things. So I think that that's some really cool stuff that they have, that BZ has going for them that others don't. So, yeah. All right. So this position we opened up with just USDC, and we saw that, you know, it's moved. It's compounded itself a little bit. So, you know, it is a tiny fee tier, but that's because, you know, they want a lot of, you know, you getting what you're paying for, with that, with when onboarding into Solana and stuff like that. So, I'm fine with that low fee tier, high liquidity, high volume, and it adds up. as you can see, that soul's being bought up. So, all right, that position is done. When sold, getting to meet Where Meow during Solana Crossroads was pretty hilarious. He had a custom like blue cat astronaut suit made, fuzzy suit, and you could just see at times the heat was getting to him in it. So huge shout out to him for that. Going the extra mile. Just to support the Jupiter community and Moon Wen community. So sort of hilarious to see. Pain doing not a lot, but a little movement. So we'll take that. We'll take that 12% gain. Still a lot of volume on it. So wondering what they'll do next. All right. This one real quick. Oh. Yep. We missed our button time. There we go. Auto compound off. Saving that position. So faux USDT, like I said, that's like my only USDT position. We see that sort of move all just into faux. A lot of volume on it. One of those unsung Asian heroes, I guess you could say, for that play there. Blaze, this is one of our Juke B sold positions. So there we go. Earning rewards on that. Samo Bonk, dual exotics. Oh, yeah. Auto compound off. M Soul Soul. Gonna leave as is. Not a lot of volume, but that's because like all the volume's over on Radium. All right, M Soul Soul, and then coins and DeFi 8. So we have a little bit of both. All right, save and close. All right. Did we get that fee claim? Yep, we did. All right. Uh-oh. Well, we'll do a hard reshift on this. So holding that shift key, hitting that refresh, repings your wallet, repings all of the positions. We'll go back to a unclaimed fee. Well, we'll see where we're at based off of like all-time fees. And that's, I think, what we sorted by last time. But as you can see, now we're actually starting, because we've taken positions out of auto compound. We're starting to collect stuff again in our HawkFi wallet, and we'll let those go. So this lets us see sort of what positions we have left. Not a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once it gets all of these positions in, we will, yeah, and that's climbed. So remember, that just continues to climb. Originally we started ending balance, so our ending balance was 5,900. Now we're at 7,100, so almost $2,000. You know, we're what, 700 off. So you know, $1,300 in 2 days in our portfolio growth. Not a bad day. All right, so we'll get these to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we have 4 more to do. So, yeah. All right. Now, if you are wanting to use HawkFi, I would love it if you guys use my referral code. You know, so there's that. If you guys use that, that would be great. But what's really cool, you don't have to, you know. So we're chasing points, both HawkFi and Meteora points. And so, yeah. All right. Totally minutes. So totally minutes originally on time.fun. We've had growth no matter what. We've had a ton of growth on these and collected a lot of fees. So we're good with this position. Vin, and the main pool is on Radium as a V2. But yeah, positions off by 25%. So we're not going to see any trading for a minute on this one, but that's okay. We'll leave that one be. Claim this one. And that auto configure that MOG. Okay. MOG ACC. All right. We've already done this pool. So Enron. There we go. Turn that off. Still volume on it. Still collecting fees. So we're still getting a piece of that pie. You know, we like that. All right. Zencat, same thing, like 0 volume on that. So we actually, it's not hurting us in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to leave this open for now and leave that one alone. Turn our auto compound off and close that out. All right. Oh, Didn't get it in time. Auto compound off. All right. Jelly. We didn't fix the auto compound, so there we go. Turn that off, and we're good. Blaze juke. Not a lot of volume. This was really the only Blaze pool that was available. Blaze being the governance token for Soul Blaze, S Blaze. We like that. All right. We'll leave that one alone. And then Chat Toshi. This one's showing off by 5%. So we'll claim out. Configure off. All right. So Quakey Soul, Stream USDC, Chirp, and Holder. Positions we'll go with. Yeah. And then while those four load, we are going to do a hard reset to make sure we got all of them done. Maybe one might have slipped. Who knows? And we'll call it a night because it is late. Boys and girls and everyone in between. Barely can keep my eyes open. Traveled just to Dubai. I think having a 20-hour layover in Istanbul, slept too much. Yeah. So, all right, let's see here. From these perspectives, we have one. So the step, X step, open that one as well. Then we have these four positions that we have going as well. So, yep. All right, Quakey. And then config. Oh. All right. Quakey done. All right. Claim that. Configure. Auto compound off. Boom. All right, we are almost done. Chirp, 32% difference. So let's see if there is a better pool to put Chirp in. Nope, we're in it. We're in the 5% pool. So, yeah. So we'll leave that one alone. Turn our configurations. And use. All right. Oh, man. Do we want to do anything with this position? I think we're just going to close this one down and let it be. Yeah, because we're down hard on that one. On last pulls for the night. Hodler. All right. There we go. And we'll close that down. Step. All right, so we're going to turn auto configuration. We're going to turn our auto compound off. Save and close. Yep. All right, so good middle ground on that step and X step. Nothing on the volume side, really. So nothing to worry about for now on that. And I think that wraps it all up. So as you can see, we've already started to grow into our dust wallet and green check marks all the way around, except for our holders. So because we got rid of that position. And we'll see unclaimed fees, Bitcoin, followed by your mom. So good ROI pieces on those, and makes me super bullish, So we're going to wrap up TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 932, LP on HawkFi and how to claim your DOOD airdrop. You can see basically from DOOD's Twitter, clean link, what to go to and do it. As everything else goes, just want to thank everyone for joining us. Everyone on LinkedIn, Player One Taco, YouTube, Xerox, Degens, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, Rumble, Kick, on-chain via Unlonely, on-chain via Abstract, and on-chain via the Arena. Shout out to everyone joining in Twitter and Twitter Spaces. We will see you tomorrow. And as we end this episode, we're going to end this episode with the same way we end every episode, with our words of wisdom and the greatest, worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet. Our words of wisdom are always the same. Closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity, opportunity can never come knocking. If opportunity does come knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. And with that, I want to wish everyone a great and wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow, as always. Till then, knock, knock. Who's there?